How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, there's only one thing we can talk about, and that is Manchester United, because the Glazers have finally put the club up for sale.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So, of course, like I said, there's only one place we're going to start, and there's only one topic that's dominating football, which is quite surprising given the fact that the World Cup is on at the moment, and that's Manchester United. Now, two massive announcements yesterday. I think one of them was kind of inevitable, and that was Cristiano Ronaldo. He has left the club by mutual consent, and I say that is inevitable because I'm sure every single one of you have seen the interview over the last week or so and what has been said. And that was always going to happen. Manchester United were exploring the possibilities of terminating the contract. It looked like it could get messy. But given the fact that, Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo, what they've achieved together, it was not something that they wanted. A mutual, amicable agreement is what they would have wanted. And that's clearly what they got. And yeah, I think that story was pretty inevitable. But the big breaking news straight after that was the Glazers. They have put Manchester United up for sale. Now, I know Manchester United fans are going to get very, very happy very quickly, and rightly so, for some respects with what's gone on at the club with the Glazers. But it's not cut and dry. It's not a foregone conclusion that this is going to be something that happens immediately. It's not even a foregone conclusion that it will happen full stop. When you read the reports and, between the lines of everything, it's not clear cut as yet. Now, there are reports and, news circulations about who could possibly come in, and you're talking about, people from, the Middle East and owners that have taken over the likes of Manchester City and Newcastle, etc. People with ridiculous money. And that's feasible, very feasible. Manchester United are looking probably around about between £4 to £5 billion in terms of the sale price. Globally, Manchester United are one of the biggest. It would be absolutely huge. The difference between Manchester United and Manchester City, for example, is the history, the heritage of Manchester United. Manchester City didn't have none of that. And it's a strange one. It's such a big proposition there. It's a lot of money to outlay. And what I would say to Manchester United fans is, let's just remember that you've spent a lot of money. It's not like the Glazers have stopped you from spending. It's not like they've said, right, no, got to cut back here, there and everywhere, and, you can't have a team to compete. They gave, the people in charge the money. They have the biggest, spend over the last decade. I think it is over £1 billion, way over that. So they've been, given the funds to compete. The problem is that they've not had the right managers. The problem is that the likes of the Glazers have not really cared, shall we say, about the football side of things. It's been more of the global side of things, the brand and what money they can get in from Manchester United. And we've seen all the protests, the green and gold scarves and everything else. And I'm not going to sit here and try and say that I know the ins and outs of Manchester United. I know that there'll be some people that make videos and sit there and claim to know the ins and outs and the workings of Manchester United. And this is not Manchester United fans in particular, because anybody that does a video that's a Manchester United supporter will know a lot more about the club than what I do, and what anybody else that's talking about their club will know, and vice versa. When I've sat and spoke about Arsenal for years, there's people that from the outside that try to talk about the club. They will never know more about Arsenal than me. And that's just the way that it is. I'm trying to get a kind of gauge of where it is and what it is. And, I understand Manchester United fans are happy. I understand that they're, over the moon that they're finally going to get rid of the Glazers. But there's a long road ahead yet. And what I will say is that if you do get somebody in that does spend money and everything else, it's not going to give you the, you know, immediate right that you're going to challenge, that you're going to be able to, you know, do what the likes of Manchester City have done of late. And what Chelsea did when Abramovich came in and everything else. I think things are very much different now. I don't think you can just go out and spend stupid amounts of money. You look at Newcastle and what they've done, for example. They've got ridiculous owners in terms of how much they can, you know, put into the club. But they've done things very, you know, reservedly. They've kind of just done it very, very cautiously, spent money wisely. And they've done a fantastic job so far. And, you know, I think that the problems run deep at Manchester United. And it's going to take some time for them to get back to where they were. And that's if they do. And that's if, you know, the Glazers do end up selling up, and what happens, and, you know, is there a percentage? And none of us really know. None of us really know the full ins and outs of what actually goes on at the club. So it's going to be a very interesting one to see what happens here on in. And, you know, like I said, with Manchester United fans, just take your time with it. Just think about, you know, this doesn't automatically mean you're going to be the team you were from years gone by. It's going to take a while. It's going to take some time. Who would be interested in Manchester United? I think there would be a lot of suitors, but it's a lot of money, £4-5 billion. That's why you look at, you know, owners from the Middle East, and they've got ridiculous amounts of money. I don't think another American would take over. I'm not sure whether there's anybody within, you know, England that would take over. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But one thing I will say to Manchester United fans, you need to thank Cristiano Ronaldo for this. I genuinely believe you need to thank him for this, because I don't think if that interview come out that the Glazers would have put the club up for sale. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. And I think that that was the catalyst for this happening. I think that someone of the stature of Cristiano Ronaldo, the person, I think that you had to take note. You had to listen. And the moment he criticised the Glazers, and the moment he really ripped into them about they don't care, was the moment that, you know, I think the Glazers sat there and went, we won't be able to come back from this. It's already, you know, at an irreparable place and whatnot. You're just not going to be able to get away with that one. And I think that he has been the catalyst for, you know, the Glazers coming out and saying, yeah, we need to sell up now. We've got to go. So for me, Manchester United fans, you need to thank Cristiano Ronaldo, because he is the reason why this has happened, in my opinion. So don't have to agree with it, but that's what I think anyway. So it's a very, very interesting news story, and something that will obviously develop over the coming weeks and months. World Cup, of course, is on at the moment. Some unbelievable games. I'm loving what I'm seeing at the moment. The Argentina game against Saudi Arabia. What a performance from Saudi Arabia. Fair play to them. That was an immense performance to beat Argentina, and fully deserved. France, very routine performance against Australia. Australia took the lead in that game. Mbappe, Giroud, it's very, you know, nice to see when you watch that kind of football. Mbappe is just a different level, and he's the reason why France have got a massive chance of winning or retaining the World Cup, should I say. So yeah, some big games on today as well, and I'm enjoying the football at the moment. I know it's the winter break, and I would love Arsenal to be back right now. I'd give anything to be watching Arsenal instead, but I am enjoying it. I really am enjoying it. So long may it continue. That's what I say. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think. Manchester United fans, let me know in the comment section what you think about the sale of the club from the Glazers and everything else. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. So if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.